Good morning or good evening, guys. I don't know what time zone you're in, so it really depends where you are in the world. Just a quick video. It's more of a reaction to some of the fun stuff going on in up north in the Silent versus Crab coalition war. There were some really big fights tonight, and for once, pretty much only the first or second time I was actually able to join the CTA. The new doctrine is Typhoon 2, and as you can see, I'm sitting here in a pod, so you can probably guess that things didn't go too well. But actually, it was a gigantic amount of fun from my perspective as a kind of a fairly inexperienced silent line pilot. I'll just quickly show you here the lost mail. And I'll give you a little bit of a background of what kind of happened or how it went down from my side this evening. So here's my combat log here, and you can see here's my Typhoon. Here's compensated, going through the SRP process, which is the first time I've actually ever done that. And you can see here this material did the most damage to me, and I'll explain what kind of happened and how I ended up dying as part of the video. So anyway, I kind of logged in and things were already heated up. I think from what I know, the Crab Coalition kind of formed like an hour or so earlier. I was actually even late for our form up, but luckily most of our fleet, in terms of the Typhoons anyway, were still kind of docked inside VFK station. And then things, anyway, so I got on, about 10 minutes later, things started happening. There was various citadels to defend, one that could be destroyed and one that could be intosed. And again, we had various skirmishes, and I know our Inti fleet was exceedingly busy. They were getting loads and loads of kills all over the place, like stragglers. I don't know what the total fleet numbers was, but for the enemy, but it did seem like quite a lot. But unfortunately, as I said, we lost one citadel, and the other one was in Tosist. But again, we were kind of getting kills the whole way through that, especially the kind of Inti fleet, and eventually. The other thing was, I can only cope with one of my ships. I can't really bring my three ships to a CTA because I just can't focus. It just gets too confusing. So what I did was, when we went off, when we chased their fleet down, I undocked my two Ravens at VFK station and kind of sat outside. And there was somebody else in Silent who undocked a bubbler. We basically kind of camped the station, and to be honest, I wasn't even looking at those screens. It was kind of like semi-AFK, and it was funny because it did seem to provoke some assault from some of the crab people kind of stuck in the station. I mean, there were a few other kind of silent people active, but obviously some of the crab people were reshipping, did want to go and join their fleet, and they couldn't, and were getting a bit salty in local about that, which I thought was quite funny, particularly as I wasn't even really paying that much attention to what was going on. But in terms of my main character, I was with the main fleet, and as I said, we had a lot of skirmishes. We picked off a few, but basically it was kind of hard to. I was with the Typhoon fleet. It was very hard to break through the tank. We didn't really have enough. I think we only had about 25 Typhoons, so it was very hard to break through. They had multiple nightmares, lots of logi. So we weren't able to kind of break through on that side, which is why they were able to take down the citadels. But anyway, after that, they kind of dispersed a little, and seemed to be started to head back. And again, they were being harassed all the time by the Indy fleet. And eventually we walked to a gate where they were all at, which I was kind of like, oh my God, could be a disaster, because basically we're in long range Typhoons, not super tanked, and we're warping right in. We jumped the gate at the exact same time as the main enemy fleet, and we were very well outnumbered at that stage. So we jumped through, held cloak, and then we were all meant to regroup on our FC, which is what I proceeded to try and do, but I got disrupted very quickly. So basically, I was kind of like left behind as everyone tried to regroup on the FC. I did get some reps, and then strangely enough, I didn't die that quickly. So I don't know if I was the main focus or whether people were just kind of shooting at me randomly. You know, certainly this Macarial was shooting at me for quite a while with 40,000 damage on there. And in fact, you can see there's only, hang on, release to load. Oh, there's some more here, I guess. So you can see it was only this Roke, Baden, McCarroll and Roke that were kind of shooting at me. And it did take them a little while to get them down, and I know that I've appeared on a few kill mails. I didn't get any kill mails myself while that was going on. But again, the FC had obviously jumped for a reason. I don't think he would have jumped the Typhoon fleet in there in close range, Typhoon snipers in close range, if he didn't have a reason. And that reason was we had some friends dropping some dreads in. And they proceeded to kill, I think we lost most of our Typhoons, about 20 or so, but we also killed approximately 20 or 30 enemy battleships and battle cruisers on that gate with the dreads, who were then able to extract themselves, and then again picked up a lot of stragglers. So again, this was my first proper CTA, and it really was quite a lot of fun. It was just quite long, 3-4 hours, and I should have been doing other things. But I kind of stuck with it this time because things were, as I said, it was quite fun. And then following on from that, my 2 ships outside the station in VFK, because a lot of enemies were reshipping, there was a kind of another fleet formed to help extract the dreads, which wasn't needed in the end. But again, when I went back to VFK, I then managed to get on one of my other accounts a Hurricane Logistics kill, which was quite nice. So you can see here, it wasn't that successful for me, and for Silent, obviously we lost a couple of Citadels, but from what I've been told is, I think our Inti fleet had totaled over 45 billion worth of kills during the evening. Our Typhoon fleet had totaled over 40 billion in kills, and there was another couple of fleets which I don't think they've tallied up yet, their totals, but again, it was probably somewhere in the region of about 100 billion in damage inflicted upon the Crab coalition. I mean, obviously we lost the Citadel, so that's not great, but again, we're getting some very, very nice fights. It's very interesting times up in Declan, Teenal, Fade, all those kind of areas, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I just wish I was on the right time zone so I could join in more of these fights. So anyway, guys, that's just a quick summary of some of the action tonight. I'm sure there'll be much better reports coming out in due course. There'll be some videos with action. Again, I did think about turning on my recording during the fight, but my thing just lags. So I'm just using a Samsung Galaxy S5, and that lags already, just even recording a simple video like this. So I don't really want to turn that on in the middle of a CTA because I'm just worried I'm going to get crashed. So nothing flashy from me. I apologize for that, but I hope this kind of rundown on the fight was of interest to you guys. Thank you very much. Take care. Fly safe. Bye-bye.